What's up, guys? This is Turtledude here, bringing you guys a Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Domination on the map Fringe using the Gorgon Light machine gun. I'm playing a little bit passive this game, as well as just really trying to just change up things, because the game gets stale after a while, and this is kind of like the time of the year where, you know, the game is really stale for us, and we're looking for as much new content or whatever, you know, the hardcore fans, and so basically, instead of being my extremely rush-happy defensive rusher I decided to play pure defense this game, and I know that you guys are going to watch this and say, this isn't pure defense, you were still running around, and I'm going to be like, well, yeah, that is true, but I'm playing a little bit different, and especially because in Black Ops 3, the weapon balance is actually really good, that the weapons you have to play to their ability. You know, you can't just run around with every single weapon in the game, you're going to poop on someone, like you could in Modern Warfare 2, where, yes, the weapon balance is really good in that game, besides noob tubes, but it was just, you know, they were all usable to basically where every single gun felt the same, although they weren't the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, the damages felt the same, but yet they were different, and they had different things. Like, I guess not really damages, but just time to kill. So you understand what I'm saying? And I think it's just because of stopping power was in the game, and yeah. Anyways, so I am using the Gorgon Light machine gun, like I said, and this kill streak setup, the class setup, it's pretty fun to use. It's something that I normally wouldn't use just because it's blind eye, anti-up, and engineer class, and I'm also taking out kill streaks because I'm playing solo. And it's just something I normally wouldn't use, and I normally do play solo, but I still normally just, I don't know why I said normally so many times, but, you know, this isn't a class that I would really use often, we'll say it that way. And it honestly opened up a new direction in, you know, gameplay and things like that, and it made it a little bit refreshing for me, but I want to talk to you guys today about something that actually annoys me about just pretty much COD in general, and it's pretty much every game actually out there that has paid DLC, and I want to talk to you guys about player split. And I know that Battlefield is, you know, dedicated servers. You pick what you want to play on. If you don't need to play on DLC, if you don't want to, you can play with whoever you really wish to play with, and, you know, basically you don't have to invite a friend or not play on DLC maps or whatever the case may be. And I want to say why this is kind of a problem in Black Ops 3. So, majority of the players, if I had to take a guess, I don't know statistics on this because I'm pretty sure they don't release statistics on it, and nor do I just really care to look it up, just because the point I'm going to make is still, I don't care. It's, you know, my point is not going to change regardless of what the actual facts are. But I would like to say that the majority of the player base does not buy DLC. I'd say it's probably somewhere around maybe 35% to 40% of players buy DLC if I had to take a guess, and just the reason I'm saying that is because that's probably about how many players are actually hardcore and dedicated to the franchise that they want to buy and spend $60 on all 4 DLC or $50 with the season pass, spend supply drops, whatever, you know, like that's the player base that's doing that. Then you have the people that maybe play the game once a week or whatever. They don't really care enough to spend $120 to have full access to everything in the game, except for supply drops, of course. We're not going to talk about supply drops. And they know that supply drops are completely cancerous to this game whenever it comes to having weapons inside of them, so we already know that. Just because it's not accessible to the whole entire community, you know. But anyways, we're not going to talk about that. I'm not going to make commentary on that just because we all know exactly what's going to be. It's exactly what everybody else says about them, because I feel the same exact way about supply drops and weapons. So, yeah, but I honestly think that, you know, DLC being paid for really splits the community into players who you can play against, and since the dedicated community of the game is generally, I don't know, maybe a little more try-hardy, it makes the weapons that are really fun to use and challenging to use not fun to use and just too difficult to use. And if I want to use an example, I'll say a sniper rifle. Okay, so let's say I hop into a game of Domination and there's level 600s on the other team using Vespers, VMPs, and Kudas. I'm pretty sure that sniper rifle, especially if they're 2 KD players, you know, I'm going to be at a very big disadvantage using the sniper, and let's just say it makes it a little bit boring to actually be able to try to do well with a sniper and to be able to have fun with a sniper, because whenever someone just bum rushes you because they know you have a sniper rifle and there's no aim assist in this game, they're basically just going to juke you with a jumping system, and you're going to be aiming all over the place, zigzagging with your analog sticks, and it's just kind of, not really the funnest of times. Whereas, you know, at the beginning of the game, whenever every single player is in the player base, to me, you get the most random of lobbies, I'd like to say, and you have your really good players and your really bad players all mixed together, and you know, it kind of makes the game a lot more fun and diverse, if I, you know, have to put it that way. And what I mean by that is, well, you know, you're not constantly playing against VMP, Kuda, Vesper. There's a lot of diversity in the weaponry, which means, let's say, that there might be 2 people on the other team using a dingo, and maybe like 3 people using a sniper rifle. I mean, you know, I'm just pulling this one out of my butt crack, but you know, it's like random things, because the casual community isn't like, oh yeah, I know that the Vesper's the best gun in the game, let me just go run around and completely destroy everyone with the Vesper, you know? And it's like, okay, maybe I can use this gun that's not really that great, and maybe I can have some fun with it, because these guys aren't using the MLG class setups, you know, and it doesn't feel like I'm playing UMP Dallas. But that's not really the real reason why I hate paid DLC. I mean, you know, it's part of the reason just because I like to have fun and screw around in public matches, but for some odd reason, as Call of Duty gets older and older, these newer games, it feels like every single person in the lobby is part of UMG Dallas, and they're training for it, and just like, seriously? Except for my teammates, you know, because of the team balancing, which we're not going to get into that either, because there's a lot of things I like to say about team balancing. But, overall, I think the main reason that I hate this is just because it's like, if you want to play a game mode that has a low population, it's so hard to find lobbies, and it also just it kind of, you know, makes you go to the game modes that are most populated. I mean, like Team Deathmatch, Domination, and Search and Destroy. I mean, those are your most populated game modes, and let's say you want to play something like Kill Confirmed, and Kill Confirmed has 1% of population. You're going to be running into pretty much the same players, but let's say you don't want to be using the same exact setup every single game. And I'm not saying, of course, oh, you don't have to use, you know, VMP, Vesper, Kuda every single game, but the real thing is does it come down to be really fun when you're playing against people that are acting like a pub is UMG Dallas every single game, and it's the only things they use? No, it's not really the most fun of things, and, you know, you really wish that you could just sometimes play against different players who don't really care as much to just sweat their balls off every single match, and so you can kind of do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know a lot of people are going to look at this and say, yeah, but you know, you can hold a 4 KD in this game, which I actually don't anymore because of the amount of sniping I've been doing against people that use Vespers, Kudas, and VMPs. Because I just don't care about stats in this game. It's completely unimportant to me anymore, just because this game's old now, and especially because this game's probably the most frustrating COD of all time to actually play for stats. We're not going to explain why. If you guys want me to, I'll make a video on that, but I just don't really care about playing for stats. That was so Black Ops 2. Anyways, it's just, I personally just wish that we could get a disabled DLC button or free DLC, which we obviously know free DLC is never going to happen, but a disabled DLC for multiplayer maps would just be a wonderful thing for us who just want to go around and have some fun with some unorthodox weapons every once in a while, instead of having to play against Vesper, VMP, and Kuda. Anyways, that is my little rant and spiel on what I'd like to see, and I know a lot of people have been asking for a disabled DLC button, but most of them just say it's because they hate the DLC maps, which is not the case for me, and I feel it's also not the case for them. I think they just want to play against newbier players as well, so we can use some of the fun guns in the game. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. By the way, hope you guys enjoyed these sniper clips, DN. I'll see you guys later. Peace.